Delaware neighbor woke up yesterday morning to find nearly 24 cars spray painted with graffiti. But the worst part, the words written on those vehicles. KYW's Keim Boulevard reports.
Police say 20 cars in the 31, 32, and 3300 blocks of North Street were spray painted with racial slurs and graffiti tags. Some had glue on them. Resident Bob Hoffmeister has some guesses about who might have done it.
Just a bunch of kids, I guess, came down just the streets and just spray painted and throw oil and glue on cars for 3 blocks.
Neighbors say it's a family-friendly neighborhood and this type of behavior is hard to accept. Hoffmeister has one message for the offenders.
Don't come back. Please don't come back. I mean, face up to it. Do it when people are around and let us see what really happens. And see if you can do it in front of people and see what they say.
Northeast Detectives is investigating. Keim Boulevard, KYW News Radio.
This just in to KYW News Radio 1060. Following a breaking story out of Harrisburg, former Pennsylvania House Speaker has been found guilty on corruption charges. And joining us live with more, our Harrisburg Bureau Chief KYW's Tony Romeo.
Yes, William DeWeese was Democratic leader of the State House when he was accused of using public resources, mainly staff, for campaign purposes. He's still a sitting member of the House, and moments ago a jury here in Harrisburg found him guilty of theft, conspiracy, several offenses related to, again, these allegations that he used public resources mostly.
Well, there she is, the BBB. In short, this is the Burlington-Bristol Bridge.
$70% off store what?
Both states now more hopeful the final deal will help those who need it the most and pack penalties to discourage abusive lenders from reoffending. Some 750,000 families who lost their homes would get checks for $2,000, and there'd also be relief for up to 1 million distressed and underwater borrowers. Vicki Barker, CBS News.
KYW News time 11:25. The Pennsylvania Institute of CPAs sponsors the KYW Business Report live to Vince Hill in the Business Center.
There are no signs of stocks going into positive territory. The Dow down 36.5 at 12,825 3/4. NASDAQ losing 9. S&P 500 falling 3.5 points. We have sales volume at just over 1 billion shares. Spot gold in the COMEX in New York down right now, $3.70 the troy ounce. With more on the market, here's Bob Manning at Morgan Stanley Smith Barney.
Slow morning on Wall Street. All major averages continuing to digest Friday's jobs report. Greece is making a few headlines that are unnerving a few about the resolution of that whole process. Crude is lower and over $97 a barrel, and interest rates are mixed to marginally lower. In the Dow 30, most are down, yet Procter & Gamble, up over 1%, is getting some bullish attention.
With a check on the bond market, Rachel Perlman at Benning and Scattergood.
Fairly neutral for bonds as treasuries fluctuate, with the yield on the 30-year bond near the highest level in more than a week as the U.S. prepares to auction $72 billion in notes this week. The 30-year treasury trading on